Thank you, Madam President. And before I give my remarks on the resolution, I'd like to introduce and recognize a special guest today, Mr. John D'Alessandro, Secretary of the Firefighters Association of the State of New York. We want to extend our gratitude to you and through you to all the volunteer firefighters across the state, and also our congratulations on the 150th anniversary of the Firefighters Association. I will treasure this challenge coin that you presented to me, and we honor you for 150 years of important service. In the spirit of my colleague, Senator Gurnardis, I'm also a bit of a history nerd, so I'll say a few things about firefighting in the United States, which dates back to the earliest years of colonization here. The early firefighters just were community members who would respond to neighborhood fires with buckets. But the first dedicated volunteer fire brigade was established by Ben Franklin in Philadelphia in 1736. Other colonies soon organized such companies, and among those who served as volunteer firefighters were George Washington, Alexander Hamilton, John Hancock, Samuel Adams, and Paul Revere. These volunteer companies were often paid by insurance companies in return for protecting their clients. In 1818, the first known female firefighter, Molly Williams, rose to prominence in New York when she took her place with the men on the drag ropes and pulled the pumper to the fire through the deep snow. Volunteer firefighters in particular exemplify the character of Americans at their best, with a generosity of spirit and dedication to helping a neighbor in the time of need. One of my favorite experiences since becoming a senator was an evening I spent in the town of DeRuyter at a ceremony where the volunteer fire department recognized its members for their service. I was able to honor a gentleman who had served in that capacity for 50 years. And I also got to sit and talk with the Ladies Auxiliary and learn about the critical work they do to assist people displaced by fires. The best part of that evening was the induction of a couple of young men into the fire department. The joy and gratitude in the room was palpable. It is critically important and incredibly hard to recruit new people to make the commitment to this kind of selfless service. Volunteer fire companies are a critical lifeline in rural areas, and the number of volunteer firefighters is declining at very disturbing rates. It's dropped since 1990 by 25%. And though the state has made gains in recruitment through a Recruit New York program, lengthy training requirements for new recruits pose significant hurdles. In addition to the life-saving efforts our firefighters provide, we also should remind ourselves that the services they provide, often at great personal cost to them, comes at an enormous economic benefit to our state. The Firefighters Association commissioned a study in 2015 that found savings of $5.2 billion a year in salaries and benefits alone, because otherwise we'd have to hire an additional 32,000 paid firefighters across the state. I am proud and honored to sponsor this resolution to show our appreciation to our New York volunteer firefighters, and in conjunction with International Firefighters Day. Today, I call on our state to take a moment to thoughtfully consider and appreciate the service of our volunteer firefighters in New York and commit ourselves to policies that adequately demonstrate that commitment. As the chair of the Aging Committee, I should also say the Firefighters Association operates the only skilled nursing home in the country exclusively for volunteer firefighters. It's located in Hudson, New York. And they also have a museum of firefighting on the same property, which houses the country's premier collection of fire apparatus and artifacts. So to John and all the members of FASTNY, I thank you again for all you do and for coming here today. I know I speak for everyone here when I say we want you to know how deeply we appreciate you and your fellow firefighters, and we are ready and eager to work with you to increase our support for volunteer firefighters. Thank you.